Today is Tuesday, October the 21st, 2025. This is the 19th meeting of 2025 and the 48th regular meeting of the current term of the Metropolitan Council of Nashville and Davidson County. Will all members of the council, as well as the public, please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation is being offered this evening by District 3 Council Member Jennifer Gamble. Councilmember, you're recognized.
Thank you. Some of you may not know that I am Catholic. I grew up in the Catholic Church and still practice Catholicism today. I attend St. Vincent de Paul Church, where I've been a member for over 25 years. With that, let us pray. Lord God, we come before you and ask you to turn our hearts and minds to you alone, to you who have power over the whole world and who can do everything in our hearts according to your will. Forgive us, Lord, for being too busy or distracted by evil things, for not fully recognizing what you've so freely given and all that Christ has done for us. Remove the obstacles in our hearts that cover your grace. When we arise from prayer, let us not forget your love, and may our prayer continue. When we engage with each other, may your mercy go forth as we were saved by your mercy. Let us stand firm on principles, on the rock that is Christ, whose Spirit gives us life. Help us to be humble, O Lord. May your hand never leave us. Let our lives glorify Christ. For this and all things we pray in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Thank you, Council Member. Welcome, Council and community members. As Pro Tem Porterfield shared during the announcement, sunset this evening marks the end of the Diwali holiday. So we wish everyone a happy Diwali who celebrates. I would like to acknowledge a group of guests in our gallery. The Davidson County 4-H Honor Club is joining us this evening to observe our council meeting. The 4-H Honor Club is a statewide recognition program for outstanding 4-H members who demonstrate leadership, community service, and consistent project work. The 4-H pledge reads, I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world, which is a great pledge for young people and all people to make. It was my honor to join 4-H and Councilmember Evan Siegel, a former 4-H'er herself, for their annual awards dinner back in September. Council and community members can find out more about 4-H and all the free and low-cost educational programs that are offered on the Davidson County Agricultural Extension Department's website. So welcome and thank you to you all for being here. We appreciate you. Youth civic education has been a hallmark of this council term. We have a new Metro Council 101 presentation that members and I have presented to a wide diversity of youth groups. Councilmember Suara has hosted 2 annual Youth and Local Government Days with numerous council member volunteers. Thank you. Councilwoman Gamble has presented to the CUPS youth group. Councilmember Vo is making plans for Carter Lawrence student leaders to visit the council, just to name a few. Civic education and understanding the institutions of our democracy and the checks and balances at all levels of government has always been important and is especially important now. Helping young people learn to be critical thinkers who know how to find trustworthy, unbiased information in an age of increasing disinformation is important. I want to thank council members in the Metro Health Department for partnering with us on the Nashville Fights Flu campaign. There were free vaccination clinics across the city until 6 p.m. today. Even if Nashvillians were not able to participate today, vaccinations are still available through our Metro Health Department, so please do follow them for more information, as well as for information about how to access breast cancer screenings. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and as many council members may be aware, I was diagnosed with stage 1B estrogen receptor positive cancer 5 years ago at the age of 47. Through a routine screening mammogram, which is now recommended starting at age 45. As I had no warning signs, had I waited till age 50, my cancer journey would have been a very different one. I was able to address my cancer with a mastectomy surgery and did not have to undergo chemotherapy, and for that I am very grateful. So please do encourage every woman you know that is 45 or older to get a mammogram. The deadline for Nashvillians to register to vote for the Congressional District 7 special election on December 2nd is coming up fast on November 3rd. So if you are hoping to vote in that special election in early December, please plan ahead and look to the Davidson County Election Commission for information you will need. Please note also that due to that special election on Tuesday, December 2nd, Council's first December meeting will shift to Thursday, December 4th. Council members, you have a memo from me on your desk providing notice that there is now one vacancy on the Transportation Licensing Commission. The function of the TLC is to have exclusive jurisdiction of the licensing and regulation of all vehicles for hire, including but not limited to taxi cabs, wreckers, sedans, limousines, horse-drawn carriages, and persons and businesses engaged in the practice of booting. Members of the council will be called upon to make nomination at the November 4th council meeting. Lastly, council members, October the 31st is the deadline for your submittals to the capital improvements budget, which is somewhat confusingly the planning document that informs the capital spending plan, which is an actual budget. We thank the planning department and council office staff for their work on that, as well as their work and support for a wide variety of informational community meetings about pending zoning legislation. And we encourage the community to follow the planning department, the council office, and their council members online for more information about those meetings. All right. Without objection, we will suspend the calling of the roll and ask the clerk to please record the names of the members present throughout the meeting. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes of the meeting of October 9th, 2025? Okay, there's a motion properly seconded without objection. And seeing no one seeking to be recognized for a change to the minutes of the meeting of October 9th are approved. Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the mayor?
There are no messages from the mayor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Okay, we will roll right in now to our agenda, starting with Section E, Appointees and Nominees. This portion of the agenda shares all persons that were scheduled to appear before the Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections Committee for an interview this evening. Referrals back to the committee are by rule as part of the council's two-meeting process for all elections and confirmations. No votes will be taken by the body in this section of the agenda other than for deferrals. Chair Cash, committee report, please, sir.
For the reappointment of Hal Harden for a term expiring September 4th, 2029, we approve 5-0-0. For the reappointment of Susan Short Jones for a term expiring September 4th, 2029, we approved 5-0-0. For the appointment of Tom Lee for a term expiring September 4th, 2029 to the Charter Revision Commission, we approved 5-0-0. For the reappointment of Jim Murphy for a term expiring September 4th, 2029, we approved 5-0-0. And for the reappointment of Joy M. Sims for a term expiring September 4th, 2029 to the Charter Revision Commission, we approved 5-0-0.
All right. Again, those will be referred back for confirmation consideration at the meeting of November 4th. Chair Cash, you are now recognized again for your committee report on the appointee in the second step of your committee's two-meeting process.
Yep. Tonight we will vote on for the Procurement Standards Board, the appointment of Shannon Raybon for a term expiring July 20th, 2028. We voted to approve, 5 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Okay. There is a motion to confirm the appointment of Shannon Raybon to the Procurement Standards Board, and it's properly seconded. Usually we have a roster, a long one, but we just have one person. And so with that, I would say all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay. Council has confirmed Shannon Raybon. Shannon, if you chose to return to the council chamber this evening, I believe they did not. And so we will just say, if they are watching live or on the replay from home, congratulations. We appreciate your willingness to serve again on the Procurement Standards Board. Thank you for your service. All right. Next on our agenda is Section G for public comment. We had no one sign up for public comment this evening. So that, no, we don't clap about that. We welcome and appreciate any citizen to come and speak with us during public comment. Okay. Moving next into Section H, a proposed amendment to Rule of Procedure. This is item H1 regarding Rule 12. The sponsors are Johnston, Horton, Weiner, Evans, Hancock, Druffel, Huffman, Webb, Spain, Rutherford, Allen, and Benton. Council members will find on their desks a strike-through version of this proposed amendment, as well as analysis for their reference. Chair Cash, can you share the next step given Rule 53.2, our mandatory deferral of proposed rules of procedure, sir?
Yep, based on that rule, and we deferred one meeting as we are supposed to. We did so 5 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay. All right. So council members are asked to review this in the meantime, and we will take this up at the meeting of November the 4th. Okay. Next, we are moving into Section I, our consolidated consent agenda. All resolutions and second and third reading ordinances on this agenda are included on the consent agenda if recommended for approval unanimously by all committees to which the item was referred. Items on the consent agenda will be voted on at a single time. The item number, along with the resolution and ordinance number of the items on the consent agenda, will be read by me. And then members of council may remove any item from the consent agenda by request before the consent agenda vote is taken. All right. The first item among our resolutions proposed for the consolidated consent agenda is Agenda Item 3, Resolution 2025-1556. Agenda Item 4, Resolution 2025-1557. Agenda Item 5, Resolution 2025-1558. Agenda Item 6, Resolution 2025-1559. Agenda Item 7, Resolution 2025-1560. Agenda Item 8, Resolution 2025-1561. Agenda Item 11, Resolution 2025-1564. Agenda Item 12, Resolution 2025-1565. Agenda Item 13, Resolution 2025-1566. Agenda item 14, Resolution 2025-1567. Agenda item 15, Resolution 2025-1568. Agenda item 16, Resolution 2025-1569. Agenda item 17, Resolution 2025-1570. Agenda item 18, Resolution 2025-1571. Agenda item 19, Resolution 2025-1572. Agenda item 20, Resolution 2025-1573. Agenda item 21, Resolution 2025-1574. Agenda item 22, Resolution 2025-1575. Agenda item 23, Resolution 2025-1576. Agenda item 24, Resolution 2025-1577. Agenda item 25, Resolution 2025-1578. Agenda item 26, Resolution 2025-1579. Agenda item 27, Resolution 2025-1580. Agenda item 28, Resolution 2025-1581. Agenda item 29, Resolution 2025-1582. Agenda item 30, Resolution 2025-1583. Agenda item 31, Resolution 2025-1584. Agenda item 32, Resolution 2025-1585. Agenda item 33, Resolution 2025-1586. Agenda item 34, Resolution 2025-1587. Agenda item 35, Resolution 2025-1588. Agenda item 36, Resolution 2025-1589. Agenda item 37, Resolution 2025-1590. That concludes the resolutions proposed for consent. We will next go to the bills on second reading proposed for the consent agenda. First among those is agenda item 52, Ordinance BL 2025-1055. Agenda item 54, Ordinance BL 2025-1062. Agenda item 56, Ordinance BL 2025-1064. Agenda item 57, Ordinance BL 2025-1065. Agenda item 58, Ordinance BL 2025-1066. Agenda item 59, Ordinance BL 2025-1067. Agenda item 60, Ordinance BL 2025-1068. Agenda item 62, Ordinance BL 2025-1070. Agenda item 63, Ordinance BL 2025-1071. Agenda item 64, Ordinance BL 2025-1073. Agenda item 65, Ordinance BL 2025-1074. Agenda item 66, Ordinance BL 2025-1075. Agenda item 67, Ordinance BL 2025-1076. Agenda item 68, Ordinance BL 2025-1077. Agenda item 69, Ordinance BL 2025-1078. Agenda item 70, ordinance BL 2025-1079. Agenda item 71, ordinance BL 2025-1080. Agenda item 72, ordinance BL 2025-1081. Agenda item 73, ordinance BL 2025-1082. Agenda item 74, ordinance BL 2025-1083. Agenda item 75, ordinance BL 2025-1084. Agenda item 76, ordinance BL 2025-1085. And last, for items on second reading proposed for consent, agenda item 77, ordinance BL 2025-1086. Moving on into bills on third reading that are proposed for the consolidated consent agenda. First among those is agenda item 78, ordinance BL 2025-882. Agenda item 79, ordinance BL 2025-883. Agenda item 81, ordinance BL 2025-958. Agenda item 83, ordinance BL 2025-1020. Agenda item 84, ordinance BL 2025-1021. Agenda item 85, ordinance BL 2025-1024. Agenda item 86, ordinance BL 2025-1025. Agenda item 87, ordinance BL 2025-1026. Agenda item 88, ordinance BL 2025-1027. Agenda item 89, ordinance BL 2025-1028. Agenda item 90, ordinance BL 2025-1029. Agenda item 91, ordinance BL 2025-1030. Agenda item 92, ordinance BL 2025-1031. Agenda item 93, ordinance BL 2025-1032. Agenda item 94, ordinance BL 2025-1033. Agenda item 95, ordinance BL 2025-1034. Agenda item 96, ordinance BL 2025-1035. Agenda item 99, ordinance BL 2025-1038. Agenda item 100, ordinance BL 2025-1039. Agenda item 101, ordinance BL 2025-1040. Agenda item 102, ordinance BL 2025-1041. Agenda item 103, ordinance BL 2025-1042. Agenda item 104, ordinance BL 2025-1043. Agenda item 105, ordinance BL 2025-1044. Agenda item 106, ordinance BL 2025-1045. Agenda item 107, ordinance BL 2025-1046. Agenda item 109, ordinance BL 2025-1048. Agenda item 110, ordinance BL 2025-1049. Agenda item 111, Ordinance BL 2025-1051. Agenda item 112, Ordinance BL 2025-1052. Agenda item 113, Ordinance BL 2025-1053. Agenda item 114, Ordinance BL 2025-1054. Agenda item 115, Ordinance BL 2025-1056. Agenda item 116, Ordinance BL 2025-1057. Agenda item 117, Ordinance BL 2025-1058. Agenda item 118, Ordinance BL 2025-1059. And lastly, on third reading proposed for the consent agenda is agenda item 119, Ordinance BL 2025-1060. Do any items need to be removed from the consent agenda? If so, if members will please join the queue to request that. Councilmember Ewing, you're recognized.
Thank you. I'd just like to be marked as an abstention on item 106, BL 2025-1045.
Okay. It's on third reading, so we will have to remove that from consent. Thank you. Agenda item 106, Ordinance BL 2025-1045. Sponsor Coupon has been removed from consent for purposes of an abstention. Okay, next, Councilwoman Benedict, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I'd like to remove 78 and companion 79.
Okay. Councilmember Benedict has requested the removal of agenda items 78 and 79 on third reading. These are ordinance BL 2025-1085 and, no, I apologize, reading in the wrong place. Ordinance BL 2025-882, sponsor Benedict, and again, the companion 883. Both of those have been removed from consent. Councilmember Suara, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to remove item number 37.
Okay. Councilmember Suara has requested the removal of agenda item 37. This is resolution 2025-1590, and it has been removed from consent. All right. I'm seeing no other members seeking to remove an item from the consent agenda. With that, Mr. Clerk, are all committee reports in for the items that are remaining on the consent agenda?
Yes, all committee reports are in.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. With that, members, is there a motion for approval of the consent agenda? It's properly seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Council has passed all items on the consent agenda. All right, next we will go back in agenda order for items that were not on consent. First among those are resolutions and section J of our agenda. And first is agenda item 1. Resolution 2025-1533, sponsors Toombs, Huffman, and Benton. This is a resolution approving a Homeland Security Grant Program application from the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Office of Emergency Management to fund efforts to prevent, prepare for, protect against, and respond to acts of terrorism and other catastrophic events. Councilmember Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports. Budget and Finance voted to recommend I believe it was a 2-meeting deferral.
Yes, ma'am.
11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Thank you. And for the report of Public Health and Safety, Chair Huffman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Public Health and Safety voted to defer this item 2 meetings, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay. Ms. Toombs, want to make that motion? Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Go ahead.
Move for a 2-meeting deferral.
All right. Is there a second? Is there any discussion on the 2-meeting deferral? Seeing none, all in favor of the 2-meeting deferral, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right. This will be deferred to the 2nd meeting in November. Okay, next is agenda item 2, resolution 2025-1534, sponsors Toombs, Huffman, and Benton. This is a resolution approving an urban area security initiative grant application from the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Office of Emergency Management to fund costs related to enhancing security and the resilience of high-risk urban areas by building, sustaining, and improving capabilities to prevent, prepare for, protect against, and respond to acts of terrorism. Ms. Toombs, you're recognized again.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports. Budget and Finance voted to recommend a 2-meeting deferral. 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right, and co-sponsor and Chair of Public Health and Safety, Mr. Huffman. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Public Health and Safety recommended a 2-meeting deferral, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, with that, Ms.
Move for a
Toombs.
2-meeting deferral.
All right, is there a second? Okay, it's properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the 2-meeting deferral motion? All right, Chair Huffman, you're recognized. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. And this is more just to get it on the record for this meeting. The reason for this 2-meeting deferral was the federal government shutdown. Thank you.
All right, appreciate the clarification. Is there any further discussion on the 2-meeting deferral? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has been deferred for consideration at our 2nd November meeting. Okay. Next is agenda item 9. Resolution 2025-1562, sponsors Cap, Toombs, Horton, and Allen. This is a resolution approving the activities and improvements eligible for tax increment financing in the Cayce Place redevelopment plan. Councilmember Cap, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Committee reports, please.
All right, for the report of the Budget and Finance Committee, Chair Toombs.
Thank you. Budget and Finance voted to recommend a 1-meeting deferral. 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, and for the report of the Planning and Zoning Committee, Chair Huffman, Horton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. The Planning and Zoning Committee voted in favor of a 1-meeting deferral, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right. Okay, Mr. Cap, given Rule 8.1, that is a mandatory 1-meeting deferral.
Yes, Vice Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, that resolution will be taken up at the 1st meeting of November. Okay. Next is agenda item 10, Resolution 2025-1563, sponsors Taylor, Toombs, Horton, Allen, and Ellis. This is a resolution approving the activities and improvements eligible for tax increment financing in the Jefferson Street redevelopment plan. Councilmember Taylor, you are recognized, sir.
Committee reports, please.
All right, for the report of the Budget and Finance Committee, Chair Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance voted to recommend a 1-meeting deferral. 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right, and for the report of the Planning and Zoning Committee, Chair Horton.
Planning and Zoning voted in favor of a 1-meeting deferral, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right, and Mr. Taylor, per Rule 8.1, that is a mandatory 1-meeting deferral. That will be taken up at the 1st meeting in November. All right. Moving ahead. All right, next is agenda item 37. Resolution 2025-1590, sponsors Swara, Vo, Stiles, Bradford, Taylor, Porterfield, Gadd, Toombs, Weiner, Coopin, Nash, Hancock, Gregg, and Gamble. This is a resolution recognizing Nashville Soccer Club for its first ever championship by winning the 2025 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Councilmember Swara, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Cash for the report of rules confirmations and public elections, sir.
We voted to approve 1590, 4 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right. Okay, it's back to you, Ms. Swara.
I'd like to move for approval with a brief comment, please.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I just wanted to rise and congratulate the boys in gold for their championship win. And we're so proud of them for being the team that brought the first professional cup to not just to Nashville, but also to Tennessee. And so this is in their honor, recognizing all the effort of the team, the coach, and everybody that is a staff and work hard to bring this honor to Nashville and Tennessee. With that, I renew my motion, but I also wanted to invoke, if I can amend with the rule 12.3, please.
Okay,
Vice Mayor.
Councilmember Swara has requested to amend her approval motion with Rule 12.3 applied, such that all members voting in the affirmative will be listed as co-sponsors. Any objection to that amendment? Seeing none, so moved. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, you have adopted this resolution. Okay, next, agenda section K, bills on introduction and first reading. All items on first reading shall be voted on at the same time unless requested either by the primary sponsor individually or by 2 or more other members. Do any items need to be removed from the collective first reading vote? Councilmember Cap, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Could I remove number 41, please?
Okay. Councilmember Cap has requested the removal from first consideration of agenda item 41. That's ordinance BL 2025-1104, and it will be removed from the collective vote. Any other items needing to be removed? Okay. Seeing none, is there a motion for approval of all items remaining on first consideration? Properly seconded. Without objection, you have approved all items on first reading. Okay. Now we'll go back to agenda item 41. Again, ordinance BL 2025-1104. Sponsors Cap, Parker, Toombs, and Horton. This is an ordinance approving amendment number 2 to the East Bank Redevelopment Plan. Councilmember Cap, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. There's a late filed substitute on this, and so I'd like to ask my colleagues for a suspension of the rules so that I may move.
Okay, let's first, so the ordinance itself is timely filed, so if you would just move approval of it first to get it before us.
Move approval.
Okay. And properly seconded. And then I heard after that your request for a suspension of the rules for purposes of adding a late filed substitute. And for that purpose, I will now go to Rules Committee Chair Cash. You're recognized, sir.
We reviewed the late filed nature of the substitute and voted 5 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting to approve.
Okay. And you concurred with the suspension of the rules for that purpose?
I'm sorry, yes, that's.
Okay. Having heard the report of Chair Cash, is there any objection by members to a suspension of the rules? Seeing none, the rules are suspended, and as such, you can now advance or move your substitute.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you, colleagues. I'll move the substitute with a brief comment.
Is there a second? Okay, go ahead, sir.
Thank you. This is a housekeeping substitute. This came over from MDHA without a proposal number attached to it, which is necessary for Planning Commission review. All the substitute does is add that proposal number. So thank you for allowing the suspension and to consider this tonight.
All right. Is there any discussion on the motion to substitute? with sponsor Cash's substitute as he described. Okay, seeing none, there is a motion to substitute, properly seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, if you would renew your motion to approve as substituted, please.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move approval on first reading as substituted.
All right, is there a second? Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this ordinance has passed its first of 3 readings as substituted. All right. Now we're into Agenda Section L, bills on second reading. First is Agenda Item 50, Ordinance BL 2025-956, sponsors Ellis and Benton. This is an ordinance to amend Chapter 12.40 of the Metro Code of Laws regarding restrictions for street and alley parking. Councilmember Ellis, you're recognized, ma'am.
Yep. Thank you, Vice Chair, or Madam President, rather. I want to defer this 2 meetings.
All righty. Did we want to request the report of the committee, just so we have that on the record?
Yes, I did.
Chair of Transportation and Infrastructure, Quinn Evans-Siegel, for the report on this ordinance, please.
The Transportation and Infrastructure Committee voted in favor of a 2-meeting deferral, 9 in favor, 0 against, and 0 not voting.
Great. Okay. I heard your motion for a 2-meeting deferral. Did I hear a second for that motion? Okay, properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the 2-meeting deferral? All right. Seeing none, all in favor of a 2-meeting deferral, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this item on second reading has been deferred 2 meetings. Next is Agenda Item 51, Ordinance BL 2025-1050, sponsors Toombs, Vaux, Welsh, Coupon, and Gad. This is an ordinance approving an agreement between the Metropolitan Government and Nashville Riverfront Amphitheater, LLC, an affiliate of Opry Entertainment Group, relating to management, operation, and maintenance of the West Riverfront Amphitheater and supporting grounds buildings. Chair Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. That's not right. Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports. Budget and Finance voted to recommend approval of the amendment, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and voted to recommend approval of the bill as amended, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All righty, and for the report of the Arts, Parks, Libraries, and Entertainment Committee, Chair Vaux, you're recognized. Oh, I apologize. Councilmember Welsh, Vice Chair, has the report. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm pretending that I'm Terry tonight. The Apple Committee voted in favor of the amendment, 5 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. And on the bill as amended, 6 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All righty. Thank you for those reports. Okay, back to you, Sponsor Toombs, for a motion.
Thank you. Move for approval.
All right, the bill is properly before us at this time. You want to move?
I'd like to move for approval of the amendment.
Okay. Is there a second on the motion to amend? Anything you want to share about the amendment?
I'll defer to Director Darby.
Okay, Special Counsel Darby regarding the amendment.
The amendment adds a provision to the agreement that allows the company to get on the property sooner to do some construction.
Okay. With that, is there any further discussion on the motion to amend with Ms. Toombs' amendment as described by Special Counsel Darby? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to amend, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, if you'll renew your motion.
Move for approval as amended.
All right. Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on that motion? Ms. Suara, Councilmember, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I rise in support, obviously, but I also wanted to refer people to watch the Budget Committee conversation yesterday. The Ryman executives were here, and on record, even though this is not required by law, it's not required by Metro, but they committed to making sure that there is representation in their hiring, in their staff, in the vendors that are working on the project, as well as the entertainers that are performing at this property. We are a very diverse community. Representation matters. And so they committed to doing all of that voluntarily, I might add. And so, but I just wanted to, at least before we vote, for us to, nothing to do with the vote. I'm voting for it, not because of that commitment, but I think the fact that they voluntarily did that in good faith, I wanted to acknowledge that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Councilmember Parker, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I just wanted to thank everybody involved on the administration side and the successful bidder for their focus on keeping the greenway connections open behind the amphitheater. That's been between that previous operator and the construction in the area that has been a major roadblock for cyclists and pedestrians in the area. I'm really excited about the kind of extended greenway. And I did ask some questions. I wasn't able to be here in committee yesterday, but I asked some questions, and we are anticipating that roughly the cost of that greenway extension is going to be the $1 million for construction and $100,000 for planning that is in this agreement. Although if it does go over, it will obviously fall to Metro and not the Opry group. But we're believing that it's about that 1.1 in total. So that's really great news. And I just really appreciate the focus on that aspect of it.
All right. Appreciate you sharing that. Any further discussion on this ordinance for passage on second reading as amended? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, this is passed its second reading as amended. Next is agenda item 53, ordinance BL 2025-1061, sponsors Wiener, Stiles, Bradford, Gregg, Huffman, Gadd, Toombs, Coupin, Benedict, Eastlick, Evans, Lee, Horton, Hill, and Ellis. This is an ordinance to amend Title II of the Metro Code of Laws to establish the Metropolitan Animal Care and Control Commission. Council Member Wiener, sponsor, you are recognized.
Committee reports, please.
Okay, let's move approval, please, to get the bill before us. All right, we actually have to get the committee reports before that. I was getting ahead of you looking at your amendment. Committee reports, Public Health and Safety Chair Huffman, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Public Health and Safety recommended approval as amended. 5 in favor, 1 against, 1 not voting.
All right, thank you. And for the report of rules, confirmations, and public elections, Chair Cash.
We voted in support of the amendment 4-0. We voted to defer the bill 2 meetings in a vote of 3 in favor, 2 against.
Okay, so defer 2 meetings, you said. Okay. All righty. Okay, I got ahead of you, Ms. Wiener, but with those committee reports in, it's back to you for a motion on your bill. Go ahead.
Motion to defer 2 meetings.
All right.
May I also, with a brief comment?
Indeed, you may. It's properly seconded. Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, I'm getting looks around there like, what are you doing? There have been constant, and I'm going to be very brief, there have been constant delays and pushback on this bill from the Department of Health and I'm going to assume the administration. And so there have been, I've been looking at the numbers, there were at least 5 drafts for this bill. And then I withdrew it at the September meeting only to make sure that we had all our ducks in a row. I am, and I told the 2 committees, I am what is known as CDO, and that's OCD alphabetically. I don't just throw stuff on paper and present it. And we had 30-something people that said, in this room, that said they would co-sponsor it. Because somebody in the Department of Health dropped the ball and did not give it to the Board of Health, and because somebody wasn't paying attention, they did not get a copy of this. And they wanted to have an opportunity at their November 13th meeting to read it. And I stood firm and I said, this has been going on for almost a year. This has been going on, and I didn't remember how many drafts there were. I disagreed. The folks in public health agreed with me. Clearly, the folks in rules did not. So I'm going to move for a 2-meeting deferral.
All right, I appreciate the explanation. There is a motion to defer 2 meetings. Is there a second? Okay, properly moved and seconded. And now we are on to discussion. Pro Tem Porterfield, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I stand in support of the 2-meeting deferral, and I just wanted to thank the sponsor for her willingness to defer the legislation to give the Board of Health the opportunity to look over it.
Thank you, Pro Tem. Is there any further discussion on the 2-meeting deferral motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no? Okay. Any abstaining? Okay. Ms. Darby, Special Counsel, we're on second reading. The ayes have it. We're good. Okay, and on a deferral motion. All right, we are moving on. That item has been deferred 2 meetings. All right, next is agenda item 55, Ordinance BL 2025-1063, sponsors Toombs and Evan Siegel. This is an ordinance amending certain sections and subsections of Chapter 2.62, Chapter 12.56, and Title 13 of the Metro Code of Laws to modify fees charged by the Nashville Department of Transportation and Multimodal Infrastructure, NDOT, and make various other changes. Councilmember Toombs, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee report. Budget and Finance voted to recommend approval of the Toombs Amendment, 9 in favor, 0 against, 1 not voting. The committee voted to recommend a deferral of 1 meeting on the bill as amended with the Toombs Amendment, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All righty. Okay, and for the report of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Chair Evan Siegel, you're recognized.
The Transportation and Infrastructure Committee voted 9 in favor, 0 against, and 0 not voting on the Toombs Amendment. And then we did not take up the Hill Amendment, but with the Toombs Amendment, we voted to defer as well, 7 in favor, 0 not voting, or 0 no's and 2 not voting.
Okay. All righty. Okay. So, Special Counsel, even though the committees discussed the addition of the amendments per Rule 8.1, are we just automatically deferring this and we are not taking up the amendments at this time? Okay, that item will be deferred 1 meeting to the first meeting in November. The amendments can be addressed at that time. The committee reports for those amendments and the bill as amended are now in and received. Okay. Agenda item 61, Ordinance BL 2025-1069, sponsors Swara, Druffel, Allen, and Ewing. This is an ordinance amending Section 4.40.050 of the Metro Code of Laws relative to the Procurement Code and the requirement for the purchasing agent to report the recycled paper usage efforts. Councilmember Swara, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
All right, for the report of the Budget and Finance Committee, Chair Toombs.
Budget and Finance recommended approval of the Allen and Swara Amendment, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting, and voted to recommend approval of the bill as amended, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All righty. Okay, it is back to you, Ms. Swara, for a motion to get the bill before us. Go
I'd
ahead.
like to move approval to get the bill before us,
Okay, go ahead.
and then we'd like to move the amendment.
All right, there is a motion to approve properly seconded, followed by a motion to amend properly seconded. Anything that you wish to share about the amendment? And we are on to discussion of the amendment. And so you are recognized, Ms. Allen.
Thank you, Madam President. This amendment simply, it does continue to eliminate the requirement to report, which we don't think is necessary, but it updates the definition of recycled paper to 30% recycled because that's what's available. So just catching up with the times.
All right, I appreciate the explanation of the amendment. Is there any further discussion on the motion to amend with Ms. Allen's amendment? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to amend, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, and Ms. Swara, if you would renew your motion for approval as amended.
Yes, I'd like to move for the bill to be approved as amended.
All right, properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll make it very brief, and it was because we did a lot of conversation in budget, but I want to use the opportunity to let everyone know that this is a slate of legislation that came through because of the work group that we did. And so thank Chair Porterfield and all the committee members. I don't want to start naming names and forget anyone, the procurement team and finance. This is about 6 bills that you're looking at. We have a couple more that are coming. And if people want to look at more information, there's a report in the folder and some videos to watch. But I want to thank everyone that made it possible as we're cleaning and we're looking for better way to do business as Nashville. Thank you. With that, I renew my motion to approve.
Thank you, Ms. Warren. I appreciate your leadership of the Budget and Finance Committee's Procurement Working Group. Thank you. All right, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of this bill on its second reading as amended, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed second reading. All right. Now we are on to bills on third reading. Section M in our agenda. First among those is Agenda Item 78, Ordinance BL 2025-882, Sponsor Benedict. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17, the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance, of the Metro Government of Nashville and Davidson County, by amending a specific plan on properties located at 1007 and 1009 Solly Drive, approximately 150 feet west of Gallatin Pike. This is zoned RS 7.5 and SP. It is 3.31 acres to permit 55 multifamily residential units, all of which is described herein, as well as its companion, Agenda Item 79, Ordinance BL 2025-883, which requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of the buildings in Ordinance 882. Ms. Benedict, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I'd like to move an indefinite deferral.
Okay, there is a motion to defer indefinitely. Is there a second? Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion to defer indefinitely? All right, all in favor of the motion to indefinitely defer both 882 and its companion 883 at the request of the sponsor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, those items have been indefinitely deferred. Next is Agenda Item 80, Ordinance BL 2025-909, sponsors Taylor, Gamble, and Toombs. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 17.08, 0.36, and 0.40 of the Metro Code pertaining to creating a commercial compatibility overlay district. Councilman Taylor, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
All right, for the report of the Planning and Zoning Committee, Chair Horton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. The committee considered the amendment to the bill and voted in favor of it. 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. We voted on the bill as amended. 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right, it's back to you, Mr. Taylor, for a motion to get the bill before us.
Thank you. Move for approval.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to move the amendment.
All right, properly moved and seconded. Anything you want to share about the amendment?
It's just a cleanup amendment to add some language that's to be consistent with automobile and automobile repair, auto services, et cetera, as well as to clean up just a typo in our numbering.
All righty, you've heard an explanation of the amendment from sponsor Taylor. Is there any discussion on the motion to amend? Seeing none, all in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, and Mr. Taylor, if you could renew your motion to approve on third reading as amended, sir.
Move for approval as amended.
All right, properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its third and final reading as amended. Next is Agenda Item 82, Ordinance BL 2025-995, sponsors Parker, Hill, Bradford, Vaux, Benedict, Allen, Gadd, Cap, Ewing, and Huffman. This is an ordinance amending Sections 10.26.010, 10.28.010, and 16.24.330 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws pertaining to intentional designs for vegetative growth. Sponsor Parker, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Do we need committee reports here?
I believe we got the committee report last time, sir. Yep, it's already in.
All right, I will move approval.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this bill? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, this has passed its third and final reading.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, moving right along. Next are agenda items 97 and 98. They are companions to each other. Sponsor Cortez. Agenda item 97 is ordinance BL 2025-1036, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from AR2A to SP zoning for property located at 6309 Nolensville Pike, approximately 130 feet east of Fair Meadows Drive. This is 9.9 acres to permit 119 multifamily residential units, all of which is described herein. Councilman Cortez, I will just preface this by saying we will have to take up 1036 kind of separately because there's a potential amendment. Then once it's amended, you can combine them. But for Chair Horton, he can go ahead and give the report on both these bills. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. The Planning and Zoning Committee considered Amendment 2 to Bill 2025-1036 and voted in favor of it, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. And we voted in favor of the bill as amended, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. For BL 2025-1037, we voted in favor to approve, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
All right. Okay, it is back to you, Mr. Cortez, for a motion on your bill. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move for approval.
Okay, it's properly moved and seconded. Back to you.
I'd like to move Amendment 1.
All right. There is a motion to amend with Mr. Cortez's Amendment 1 properly seconded. Is there anything you'd like to share about the amendment?
Yeah, this is a good project for the district. We are making a small adjustment to removing a small piece of sidewalk that's connecting this project to an already established community. This is going to bring a diversity of housing to this side of the district. It's also going to be a nice transition from apartments that we have coming online into the single-family homes. The constituents in this area have been really good partners with a lot of development over the last decade around them, and they did have a small request to remove this because they were concerned with members of this community parking in their community. So we felt it was a small concession to get this project done.
You have heard an explanation of Amendment 1 from the sponsor. There is a motion to amend. Is there any additional discussion on the motion to amend with Amendment 1? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Okay, now it's back to you for a motion for your bill as amended.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Please move as amended.
Okay, there is a motion to approve Bill 1036 as amended with Amendment 1. I guess we want to add the companion given the status of the bill and the need for a roll call. Okay, I'm just going to keep it simple, Mr. Cortez. We're not going to combine the companion at this juncture. I do want to clarify that with this amendment, Amendment 1, technically this is a disapproved bill at this juncture.
Yes.
Okay, and thus that means 27 votes of this body are required, as is a roll call. Okay?
Yes.
All right, members. Council, or rather, Mr. Clerk. Could you please load the vote for, oh, I'm sorry, point of order. I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead. Please stand for points of order, remember. Thank you.
Point of order, I may be incorrect, but are we required to hear from the planning table about why
That is
the
a
bill
good
is
question.
disapproved?
Special Counsel Darby, or, yeah, I appreciate that clarification. Planning Department, can you clarify the disapproval, please? Thank you.
Yes, my name's Bob Lehman with Planning Department. There was a condition added to this recommendation from the Planning Commission that required a connection from this development to the neighboring property. There are existing sidewalks on the existing development to the north. And so the Planning Commission recommended that sidewalks in this development connect to the existing sidewalks. And there's a condition to that effect. So removing that condition would go against the Planning Commission recommendation and result in a disapproved bill.
All right. I appreciate the clarification. So at this juncture, we are on discussion for a motion to approve 1036 as amended with Amendment 1. You have heard an explanation by the Planning Department, and we are on to discussion. Councilmember Allen, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to defer to the council member on the sidewalk issue, but there was another issue in that Hannah Zeitlin sent about some other stuff and needing approval by other departments. Does that affect anything here?
Okay, Special Counsel, should I address that to you or Mr. Lehman? Okay, Mr. Lehman, you've hung in here from planning. Do you want to clarify that question of Ms. Allen, please, sir?
Yes, there were two amendments. The second amendment, which was not being considered tonight, had a different requirement to add a gate at the entrance to this, and that's where Metro Legal opined that would need to go back to the Planning Commission if that amendment were moved forward. But as of this point, that amendment is not moving forward.
All right, does that clarify, Ms. Allen? So Amendment 2 is not offered by the sponsor. We are on a motion to approve at this juncture with Amendment 1. Continuing discussion, Councilman Nash, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I wonder if the sponsor might, and I may have missed it, I apologize if I did, the reason why we don't want to extend the sidewalk, this just seems like a common sense kind of thing.
Mr. Cortez, I'll go back to you for clarification. Go ahead.
Yes, there was a concern with the community that this new project is going to butt up to, that there would be people, visitors parking in the community and then taking up space on their street and coming over. It was a small concession to get the project done. We felt overall it's a good project for the district, and if that was going to get the community on board, we felt it was the right thing to do.
All right, any
Thank you.
further questions? Okay, we are still on discussion. Is anybody else seeking to be recognized? Okay, seeing none, with that, we will now move to the vote. Mr. Clerk, seeing no further discussion, if you could please load the vote for agenda item 97, 1036, as amended with Amendment 1 for approval. All right, with all votes in, Mr. Clerk, please show the vote. All right, this motion has passed. The ordinance has passed its third and final reading as amended with Amendment 1 with 37 votes in favor, 0 voting no, and 0 abstaining. Okay, Mr. Cortez, I'm going to need to go back to you because we had to separate the companion. So this is agenda item 98, ordinance 1037, sponsor Cortez. This ordinance requires certain materials to be restricted in the construction of buildings. It was in ordinance 1036. We already have our report from Chair Horton, and thus at this juncture, you only need move approval.
Yeah, move for approval.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right, that has passed its third and final reading. And next, we have agenda item 106, ordinance BL 2025-1045, sponsor Coupon. This is an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metro Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metro government, by changing from IG to MUIA zoning for properties located at 1425, 1429, 1433, and 1436 Cowan Court, approximately 578 feet west of Cowan Street. This is 9.0 acres within the River North Urban Design Overlay District. Councilman Coupon, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Madam President. Committee reports.
All right, for the report of the Planning and Zoning Committee, Chair Horton, you're recognized. This is on Mr. Coupon's 1045 regarding River North overlay.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. The Planning and Zoning Committee voted to approve, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, all right, Mr. Coupon, it's back to you for a motion.
Move approval.
Okay, there is a motion to approve. It is properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this ordinance on third and final reading? Okay, seeing none, was there anything that you wanted to share, Mr. Coupon? All right, with that, we will move to the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? Thank you, Ms. Ewing. I'd forgotten about that earlier. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Clerk, if you would please record Councilmember Ewing as an abstention. That's why we took that off at third reading. All right, y'all. Okay, that has passed its third and final reading with one abstention. Next is agenda item 108, ordinance BL 2025-1047, sponsors Coupon, Allen, Spain, Gadd, and Stiles. This is an ordinance to amend section 9.20.020 of the Metro Code of Laws regarding motor vehicle noise. Councilman Coupon, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Committee reports.
All right. The committee reports are already in.
Okay, then I would like to move approval, please.
Okay. There's a motion to approve. It's properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any voting no? Any abstaining? Okay, Ms. Kimbrough. Mr. Clerk, if you will record Ms. Kimbrough as an abstention. This bill has passed its third and final reading with one abstention. All right. Is that it? That concludes this evening's agenda. Our next council meeting will be on Tuesday, November 4th. Is there a motion to adjourn? We are adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.